Academic, Book 1, Chapter 19. It is hard to say what finally made me do it. I could held on to so many secrets for so long, doing what I believed best to protect her Lisa, but hiding her cutting did nothing to protect her. I had not been able to make her stop. And really, I wondered if it was my fault she could have ever started. None of this had happened until she healed me in the accident. What if she could left me injured? Maybe I could have recovered. Maybe she could be all right today. I stayed in the clinic while Dremet went to get Alberta. He had not hesitated for a second when I told him where she was. I could said she was in danger, and he could left immediately. Everything after that moved like some sort of slow motion nightmare. The minutes dragged on while I waited. When he finally returned with an unconscious Lisa, a flurry arose at the clinic. One everyone wanted me to keep out of. She had lost a lot of blood, and while they had a feeder on right hand away, rousing her to enough consciousness to drink proved difficult. It was not until the middle of the academics night that someone decided she was stable enough for me to visit. It is true? She asked when I walked into her room. She lay on the bed, wrist heavily bandaged. I know they could put a lot of blood back into her, but she still looked pale to me. They said it was you. You told them. I had to. I said, afraid to get too close. Liz, you cut yourself worse than you ever have. And after healing me, and then everything with Christian, you could not handle it. You needed help. She closed her eyes. Christian, you know about that. Of course you do. You know about everything. I'm sorry, I just wanted to help. What happened to what Miss Crower said about keeping it all secret? She was talking about the other stuff. I don't think she could want you to keep cutting yourself. Did you tell them about the other stuff? I shook my head. Not yet. She turned towards me, eyes cold. Yet. But you're going to. I have to. You can heal other people. But it's killing you. I healed you. I could have been okay eventually. The ankle could have healed. It's not worth what it does to you. And I think I know how I started when you first healed me. I explained my relation about the accident and how all her powers and depression had started after that. I also pointed out how our bond had formed after the accident, too. Thought I don't finally understand why yet. I don't know what's going on, but this is beyond us. We need some help. They will take me away, she said flatly, like Miss Crab. I think they will try to help you. They were all really worried, Liz. I'm doing this for you. I just want you to be okay. She turned away from me. Get out, Rose. I did. They released her the next morning on the condition that she could have to come back for daily visits or to the counselor. Drummond told me they also planned on putting her on some sort of medication to help with the depression. I was not a big fan of pill, but I could cheer on anything that could help her. Unfortunately, some somophore had been in the clinic for an asthma attack. He could seen her come with Drummond and Alberta. He don't know why she could be admitted, but that had not stopped him from telling people in his hall what he could see. Then they told others at breakfast. By lunch, all the upper class men know about the last night clinic visit. And more importantly, everyone know she was not speaking to me. Just like that, whatever social headway I could made plummeted. She don't outright commend me, but her silence spoke legends and people behaved accordingly. The whole day I walked around the academic like a ghost. People watched and occasionally spoke to me, but few made much more effort than that. They followed Lisa's lead, imitating her silence. No one was openly mean to me. They probably had not don't want to risk it in case she and I patched the things up. Still, I heard "bled her" whispered here and there. When someone thought I was not listening, Manson could have welcomed me to his lunch table, but some of his friends might not have been so nice. I don't want to be the cause of any fights between him and them, so I choose Natalie instead. I heard Lisa tried to run away again, and you stopped her, Natalie said. No one had a clue why she could be in the clinic yet. I hoped it stayed that way. Running away? Where in the world that came from? Why could she do that? I don't know. She lowered her voice. Why could she leave before? It is just what I heard. That story ragged on as the day passed, as did all sort of rumors about why Lisa might have gone to the med clinic. Pregnancy and abortion theories were extremely popular. Some whispered she might have gotten Victor's disease. No one given even came close to guessing the truth. Leaving our last class as quick as possible, I was astonished when Mia started walking towards me. What do you want? I demanded. I cannot come out and play today, little girl. You sure have an attitude for someone who does not exist right now. As opposed to you? I asked. Remembering what Christian had said, I did feel a little sorry for her. That guilty disappeared after I took one look at her face. She might have been a victim, but now she was a monster. There was a cold, cunning look about her, very different from the despair and depression one from the other day. She had not stayed beaten after what Andre had done to her. If that was even true, and I believed it was, and I doubted she could with Lisa either. Mia was a warrior. Sorry, survivor. Mia was a survivor. She got rid of you, and you're too high and mighty to admit it. Her blue eyes practically bulged out. Don't you want to get back at her? Are you more psycho than usual? She's my best friend, and why are you still following me? Mia asked. She does not act like that. Come on, tell me what happened at the clinic. It is something big, is not it? She really is pregnant, right? Tell me what it is. Go away. If you tell me, I will get Jess and Raph to say they made all the stuff up. I stopped walking and spun around to face her. Scared, she took few steps backward. She must have recalled some of my past threats of physical violence. I already know they made it all up because I don't do any of it. And if you try to turn me against Lisa one more time, the stories are going to be about you bleeding because I will have ripped your throat out. My voice grew louder with each word until I practically shouted. Mia stepped back further, clearly terrified. You really are crazy. No wonder she dropped you. She just. Whatever. I will find out what is going on without you. When the dance came that weekend, I decided I really don't want to go. It had sounded stupid to begin with, and I could only been interested in going to the after parties anyway. But without Lisa, I was not likely to gain admission to those. Instead, I holed it up in my room, trying and failing to do some homework. Though through the bond, I felt all sort of mixed emotions from her, particularly anxiety and excitement. It had to be hard, hanging out all night with a guy you don't really like. About 10 minutes after the dances start time, I decided to clean up and take a shower. When I came back down the hall from the bathroom, a towel wrapped around my head, I saw Manson standing outside my door. He was not exactly dressed up, but he also was not wearing jeans. It was a start. There you go, party girl. I was about to ready to give up. Did you start another fire? No guys allowed out in this hall. Whatever. Like that makes a difference. True. The school might be able to keep Strigoi out, but they did a horrible job at keeping the rest of us away from each other. Let me in. You have got to get ready. It took me a minute to realize what he meant. No, I'm not going. Come on, he purred, following me inside. Because you had a fight with Lisa? You guys are going to make up soon. No reason for you to stay here all night. If you don't want to be around her, Eddie's getting a group together over in his room later. My old, fun loving spirit perked its head up. Just a bit. No Lisa, probably no royals. Yeah? Seeing that he was starting to get me, Manson grinned. Looking at his eyes, I realized again how much he liked me, and again I wondered why could not I just have a normal boyfriend? Why did I want my hot old mentor, the mentor I could probably end up getting fired? It is just being non voice. Manson continued, obvious to my thoughts. And I have a surprise for you when we get there. Is it in a bottle? If Lisa wanted to ignore me, I had no reason to keep myself sober. No, that is at Eddie's. Hurry up and get dressed. I know you're not wearing that. I looked down at my ripped jeans and University of T-shirt. Yeah, definitely not wearing this. 15 minutes later, we cut across the quad back over to the commons, laughing as we recounted how a particularly clumsy classmate of ours had given himself a black eye in practice this week. Moving quickly over the frozen ground was not easy in heels, and he kept grabbing my arm to keep me from falling over, half dragging me along. It made us laugh that much more. A happy feeling started to well up in me. I was not entirely rid of the ache for Lisa, but this was a start. Maybe I don't have her or her friends, but I have my own friends. It was also very likely that I was going to get head over heels drunk tonight, which, while not a great way to solve my problems, could at least be really fun. Yeah. My life could be worse. Then we ran into Drummond and Alberta. They were on their way somewhere else, talking Guardian's business. Alberta smiled when she saw us, giving us the kind of look others people always give to younger people who appear to be having fun and acting silly. Like she thought we were cute. The nerve! We stumbled to a halt, and Manson put a hand on my arm to steady me. Mr. Ashford, Miss Hathaway, I am surprised you are not already in the Commons. Manson gave her an angelic teacher's pet smile. God delay, Guardian Petrov. You know how it is with girls. Always got to look perfect. You especially must know all about that. Normally, I could have elbowed him for saying something so stupid, but I was staring at Dermot and incapable of speech. Perhaps, more importantly, he was staring at me too. I had on the black dress, and it was everything I could hoped it could be. In fact, it was wonder Alberta don't call me on the dress code right there and then. The fabric clung everywhere, and no Morai girl's chest could have held this dress up. Victor's rose hung around my neck, and I could have done a hasty blow dry off my hair, leaving it down the way I know Drummond liked it. I had not worn tights because no one wore tights with dresses like this anymore, so my feet were freezing in the heels, all for the sake of looking good. And I was pretty sure I looked damn good, but Drummond's face was not giving anything away. He just looked at me and looked and looked. Maybe that said something about my appearance in and of itself. Remembering how Manson sort of held my hand, I pulled away from him. He and Alberta finished up their joking remarks, and we all went our separate ways. Music blasted inside the commons when we arrived. White Christmas lights and a disco ball, casting the only light in the otherwise darkened room. Grading bodies, mostly underclassmen, packed the dance floor. Those who were our age stood in two cool clusters along the edges of the room, waiting for the opportunity time to sneak off. An astonishment of Sherpons, guardians, and Morai teachers alike patrolled around, breaking up those dancers who did a little too much grading. When I saw Kirova in a sleeveless, pale dress, I turned to Manson and said, Are you sure? We cannot hit the hard liquor yet? He snickered and took my hand again. Come on, time for your surprise. Letting me letting him lead me, I walked across the room, cutting through a cluster of freshmen who looked way too young to be doing the kind of pelvic thrust they have attempting, where they were cheerful, where you needed them. Then I saw where he was leading me and came to a screeching halt. No, I said, not budging when he tucked my hand. Come on, it's going to be great. You're taking me to Jess and Raf. The only way I can ever be see with them is if I have got a blunt job object and I'm aiming between their legs. He pulled me again. Not anymore. Come on. Reluctantly, I finally started moving. My worst fears were realized when a few pads I turned away. Great. Everything was starting all over again. Jess and Ralph don't notice us at first, but when they did, an amusing array of expression played over their faces. First, they saw my body and the dress. Testosterone look took as pure male lust shone out of their face. Then they seemed to realize it was me and promptly turned terrified. Cool. Manson gave Jess a sharp poke in the chest with the end of his finger. All right, Zolox, tell her. Jess, don't say anything. And Manson repeated the gesture only harder. Tell her. Not meeting my eyes, just mumbled, Rose, we know none of that stuff happened. I almost choked on my own laughter. Do you? Wow. I'm really glad to hear that because of you see. Until you said that I could been thinking it had happened. Thank God you guys are there to set me straight and tell me what the hell I have and have not done. They flinched and Manson's light expression darkened to something harder. She knows that. He growled. Tell her the rest. Jess signed. We did it because Mia told us to. And? Prompted Manson. And we are sorry. Manson turned to Raph. I want to hear it from you, big boy. Raph could not meet my eyes either, but he mumbled something that sounded vaguely like an apology. Seeing them defeated, Manson turned chipper. You have not heard the best part yet. I cut him a sidelong look. Yeah? Like that part we were in out time and none of this ever happened? Next best thing. He tapped Jess again. Tell her why you did it. Jess looked up and exchanged uneasy looks at Raph. Boys, warned Manson, clearly delighted about something. You're making Hathaway and me very angry. Tell her why you did it. Wearing the look of one who realized things could not get any worse, Jess finally met my eyes. We did it because she slept with us. Both of us.